buffalo. The buffalo are extremely impressive. When you get up there and you're within 40 yards, holy cow, they are some big critters. And I hope that the Hornady ammo that we're using, that's prototype, it's never been used to shoot a live critter yet, I hope it actually works when we get lined out on one of these bad boys.
Well, the great thing about buffalo hunting is it's dangerous game hunting. So to be able to come and hunt an animal that'll kill you back, so to speak. You want to be prepared for, a charge. The old saying is, if you hunt buffalo long enough, you're going to find one that's going to put you in a jam.
It is buffalo time. We're shooting a 250 grain GMX. We want to try it out. It's actually intended to be used on plains game because it has a flatter trajectory than some of the heavier solid bullets, but we're going to try it on a buffalo and see what happens. Oh yeah, oh yeah. So that's the 250 grain GMX. 375 Ruger. Guess this is it, huh? I'm kind of nervous about getting up there on one of these buffalo. We've had a couple encounters with them and they are intimidating creatures. So we had looked at a bunch of buffalo and I'd kind of had my heart set on one in particular. He was big and he looked a little bit angry and I figured he might be just the guy we needed.
When it got time to start stalking that buffalo, well, you could see the change in me. I don't know if it was the weather or what, but they were all feeling a little salty this morning. You could feel the tension in the air.
So now my heart rate's getting up, we're getting on our hands and knees, we're crawling up into position. We crawl way up there and the bulls have got us pegged.
Once we got in there, we were able to look at these buffalo. They were way out in an open field and we had got to the end of our cover.
That wasn't the spot, we couldn't get a good shot, so we pulled back out of there hoping that the bulls wouldn't see us. We crawled around a little bit farther to the north. That's a lot of poop. That's a whole lot of poop. From there we had a pretty good bird's eye view of the bulls. We're 83 yards away. At that point, he just said, hey, step out there. And we stepped out into the open. And I guess he thought we were going to take off and go look at some other bulls. And I kind of thought the same thing. And then the bulls started coming at us. And they kept making their moves, stepping up, blowing at us, stomping their feet. They kept working their way up.
For some reason, the closer he gets, the harder it is to keep that little crosshair in my rangefinder on him.
Yeah, we ain't gonna let them get much closer. There's too many bulls there to let them get much closer. They all, faced us, started snorting, coming to us a little bit, and that's when we decided we were ready to go ahead and take one. And
I got down in the kneeling position, and he said, go ahead and take your shot when you're ready.
I'm kneeling.
You good? Yep. I shot, and I didn't make a spectacular shot on that first shot. I did break the shoulder of this particular bull. So they started moving after that, and once they started moving, I felt pretty confident. And I put another round trying to angle it in behind the ribs. It was like he had scripted this out. He said, okay, he's wounded, and the other bulls are gonna surround him. And he no more than said that, and they surrounded that wounded bull.
That's crazy. Protecting their buddy.
It was really an eerie feeling. And at that point, we've got to go up there and finish this bull off. We started moving, and I thought this guy was crazy. When I walked up on this bull, I knew he was going to be big, but I had no idea how massive these animals are. Wow, look at the size of this dude. Look at that. Oh my goodness.
yeah, good luck rolling him up there, buddy.
Oh, wow. At that point, it's still not over because now we've got a bunch of bulls that have squared off on us. Those other buffalo are looking at us too over there.
They were real protective of their buddy. And so while we are there, kind of waiting on some help to come get this buffalo loaded. You know, the whole herd is still milling around, you know, still acting aggressive and snorting at us, and, you know, they'd ease a little closer to us and then back off. So we're literally still standing there on guard at the end of the hunt. I mean, and the tension was still high, making sure that this group of buffalo wasn't going to come in there on top of us.
They really seemed like they wanted a piece of us.
This can be an entertaining bunch right here. They're not willing to give up their buddy lightly.
Yeah.
They'll start easing this way in a minute. One of them, he'll start coming, and then the rest will start coming. You have to shoot ground in front of them. If that don't turn them, we'll shoot him.
Uh-oh. Well, looks like he wants to fight the other one.
We started counting how many rounds we had left to make sure that if they started charging, we could give everybody a little bit of love. That probably would have got a little expensive for us, but we definitely don't want to get run over. And then Jamie, of course, starts telling us about a guy that got pinned to the ground and got his scalp ripped off and his spine broke and all this stuff because he played dead when a buffalo attacked him.
Broke his back, broke his shoulder, ripped his scalp off.
You really have to tell us that right now? Is that the story you want to tell us right now?
And that was one buffalo. Well, there's no question about it. If they all broke and run and head right toward us, it would be a disaster.
We didn't know what was going to happen, and we had called up front end loader to pick this thing up, and things were a little hairy right up until he pulled in. And he pulled up, and when that vehicle pulled in there, the rest of those buffalo, they still looked at us, but they gave us a little bit more space, and then we could kind of take a breath and breathe easy. Once we had the autopsy, we realized I never hit the guts or anything. Everything went up there into the lungs and the heart, and one of those rounds actually went right through the heart, so that was definitely a good thing there.
There's the heart, entry and exit wounds. That wasn't the first shot, but that was one of the follow-up shots there.
We harvested an incredible beast today. He ended up being 31.5 inches long and 18 inches circumference at the bases, which comes up to a score of 99. I'm not a big score guy, but for those of you that are, that gives you an idea how big this critter is. This is an unbelievable trophy, and every one that I saw out there is an unbelievable trophy, so you have got to check this out.